It's very rare that you'll see me sit here and kind of empathize with incels and kind of give in a little bit to that kind of doomer rhetoric. Because I'll be honest, a lot of you guys are pathetic. Incels. Involuntarily celibates, the not by choice monks, the reluctant priests, except rather than, little boys being the victims, it's sorority girls. Now, you're probably used to, and by you I mean the three people who still watch these videos, you're probably used to me talking about like self-improvement, gym, fitness, improving your mental health, improving your confidence, like cool alpha shit. It's very rare that you'll see me sit here and kind of empathize with incels and kind of give in a little bit to that kind of doomer rhetoric. Because I'll be honest, a lot of you guys are pathetic. Like the ones who are active online, not the ones who just can't get any, but like the incels who are like actively participating in like these online communities and spew hate and that kind of stuff. But from time to time, like I will get on my laptop, get on my phone mostly, but I will go on the internet, I will kind of put my finger on the pulse of what the black pill incel doomer world is doing. So I'll hop on my iPhone and I'll see what my favorite young African American content creator is doing. Yes, of course I'm talking about Gerbert Johnson. Gerbert? Is it Gerbert or Gerbert? I can never seem to tell. Gerby. That dude makes some fire 9/11 raps though. Holy shit. Is it fair to classify this young, dashing black man as a black pillar or as a doomer? I mean, I don't know if he's full on doomer, but definitely like black pill doomer vibes. But I actually do like him. I think he actually makes good content and he talks positively. He comes across really genuine and he talks and covers a lot about the complicated, complex issues that our generation is facing. So I was quite taken aback actually when I saw one of his newer videos with a very weirdly hopeful looking title. A video with a juicy looking thumbnail and title hinting at possibility of, better days ahead. Is the incel epidemic over? Let's begin. So we all know about this, I'm sure we all know about this, graph that kind of went viral from 2018, which showed the number of like men or young men between the ages of like 18 to 30 or something. The numbers of them not reporting no sex or reporting that they're virgins has kind of like skyrocketed from like 2012 to 2018 compared to like women, which kind of didn't skyrocket basically. And that indicated an incel epidemic and like indicated hypergamy, the famous 80-20 rule, like 80% of women go for the top 20% of men, leaving, more and more men to stay virgins and stay celibate and stay incels basically, because all the women are being torpedoed by the same top 20% of men. That's the theory. We saw the graph. This is 2018. We expected it to have gotten a lot worse by now, considering how COVID basically fucked all social interaction between young people, essentially. 2019, 2020, 2021 weeks, I probably would have expected that 50% of guys are like now incels basically. However, according to the new data that's out that my friend Gerby covers, it's apparently going down. Yeah, it's actually falling down. So the new study shows that the virginity rate is not as high, but also it kind of tracks men and women at a similar level. So there was the one study that showed that after the peak in 2018, the male virginity one kind of went down. But there's another one that showed that actually it was always just kind of similar levels anyway. So it indicated just a general increased level of lack of social interaction and the death of socialization between men and women in general societally, rather than a specific incel epidemic that's caused by dating apps or hypergamy. So that leaves us with I think a few questions to answer. Firstly, was it overblown? The whole hypergamy 80-20 thing. Now personally, to be honest, the whole 80%, I don't think it was ever 80% to 20% thing. I think that was always an exaggeration. Maybe it was true on dating apps, but I think in the real world those numbers were a bit of an exaggeration. However, I think the concept was still very much true. Like, even if you don't need to look at any data, like just your own personal life, things you see. Like, it's very obvious that there's fewer men that women are attracted to compared to vice versa. So the concept is real, but I think the numbers, I think it was all just an exaggeration to kind of signify that there is hypergamy, but I don't think it was ever like 80-20 to that extent. The concept is real, so I think it's more, but I think it was more like 90-40. So like 90% of women to like the top 40% of men, maybe. I think it was more that kind of range, like 35-40% essentially. So maybe the numbers were overblown, but I don't think the issue was overblown to the extent where it's like, oh, there was never an incel epidemic, because there obviously was. And according to data, it seems to have gone down, and I think it has gone down in the last 3 to 4 years. Now, why? I think that there's been a collective, like, conscious awakening by guys or men over the last, like, young men over the last 4 years, mainly due to gym culture, self-improvement, that kind of thing. More men are aware of you needing to go to the gym and improve your fitness, needing to improve your looks, needing to improve your charisma, learn about speaking skills, and learn about how to talk to people, how to talk to women. And a lot of men have collectively improved their attractiveness levels over the last 4 years. And that's due to the explosion of the red pill self-improvement content. Some of it really bad, I will say. Some of it is dog shit content. But then some of it is quite good and is quite helpful and is just kind of brutal, hard facts and truth. So it's basically a kind of a collective awakening of being like, oh yeah, like all the guys are kind of like, oh yeah, everything I've been told about like attracting women and that kind of stuff all my life it's kind of been a lie, and I actually do need to like improve myself, and I do need to be a Chad, and I do need to like work really hard, and you know, I can do this, and I need to like, this is how I need to talk, this is how I need to look, this is how I need to come across, I need to work on my body language. All this "you're perfect the way you are" bollocks that I've been fed most of my life is bullshit. And it is. Like, look at gyms, look at how much more popular and normalized gym culture is compared to 5 years ago. Like, I feel like every guy I meet nowadays is into the gym. Every young guy under the age of 30 goes to the gym now. That wasn't the case 5 years ago. I didn't go to the gym 5 years ago. I mean, I did, but like very, very inconsistently. So the number of guys improving themselves, improving their fitness, improving how they look, improving like their social standing is higher than ever. So there's a lot more people that are breaking into that top 35%, 40%. So that 30%, 40% is expanding, and less guys are remaining as incels. Because like the self-improvement male content niche has exploded so much, it's become so popular that it's kind of like you've probably all heard the same talking points, the same advice now so many times from so many different content creators. It's kind of made me think, like, it's made me kind of reassess what direction I want to take this YouTube channel in. Because like it is so oversaturated at this point. Like, I'm just kind of thinking what kind of new twist and what kind of new insight that I can bring to kind of freshen things up a little bit. I don't want to sit here and just say the same things that Hamza or Andrew Tate or whoever has said. Now, the second point Jerby makes in the video is this crisis averted. Now that inceldom and virginity is going down, or maybe not even as bad as it was before, does that mean that we're Gucci? Society's fixed. There's no problems now. Is there still a crisis? The answer is yes, there is. The crisis is an emotional intimacy crisis, because people are still not getting into long-term monogamous relationships. Because people are still not getting into long-term monogamous relationships and marriages. The marriage failure rates are at an all-time high, and relationships just seem to be like in the gutters these days. Everyone's cheating, everyone's breaking up, so while a lot of guys now might be able to go out and find some random hoe they don't care about to sleep with, like, that really doesn't kind of solve the deep-rooted human desire for connection that won't heal your soul. Like, it won't make you happy, and it won't solve the collective spiritual crisis we have, especially in the West. Gerby mentions the longest running study that's been going on for I think more than 60 years. The longest running study on what makes humans happy, on what makes humans healthy, where they've collectively followed people from like way back in whenever in the 20th century, and they followed their lives for 70 plus years or something. And basically, like, what they found in the study is that long-term monogamous relationships, marriages, the people who got into long-term successful monogamous relationships and marriages ended up with higher overall life happiness, better health, so like objective metrics of health like blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes. People who were in long-term monogamous relationships perform better in every single health metric, as well as every single mental health metric, and happiness and fulfillment in life. That's what people are lacking. That's what's going to give people satisfaction, fulfillment, and happiness in life. Not a series of nothing meaningless hookups. Damn, that was a bar. Damn! Anyway, good video, Gerbert. Can always count on my favorite African... I don't know. Is that meme dead now? Anyway, let me know what you guys think.